There's nothing as deceptive as a woman who's capable of significant harm. Behind the facade of beauty and naivety hides an assassin with a heart of stone. When she leads a turf war with her gang, it ends in a bloody massacre.
Tranquila, mija, ya viene el helicóptero por ti. Ya viene el helicóptero. Tranquila, hija, tranquila. Vas a estar bien. Trata de aguantar, ¿eh?
When we think about the most dangerous drug lords in history, we envisage the most prominent men who have had many dealings with the law, the likes of El Chapo, Pablo Escobar, and other ruthless criminals who are always surrounded by a fleet of heavily armed loyalists, always ready for Armageddon. But very few are aware that some of the most dangerous and bloodthirsty narcos in South America were women. Zainab Salbi once said that women were the forerunners of peace. So what happens when women decide to take up arms? Here are some of the most dangerous female narcos that ever existed in history. La Catrina. La Catrina, also known as Maria Guadalupe Lopez Esquivel, led a notorious squad that left a trail of blood wherever they went. Maria was born into the humble home of a rancher and a housewife in the city of Tepalcatepec. She knew that this life wasn't for her. She hated a regular life and despised school. Maria ran away from home in 2017 and found refuge with a member of the Jalisco New Generation drug cartel based in Aguila. Love led her to Miguel Fernandez, one of the high-ranking drug barons. However, she wasn't just in for love alone. She wanted fame and money. With an ambitious mind, she climbed up the chain of ranks in the cartel until fame and money followed. She displayed her lavish life on social media and soon took on the name La Catrina. La Catrina became one of the faces of a gang of beautiful women, the Securious Soldiers, who used their allures to lure, deceive, and kill members of opposing gangs. She soon became the leader of the gang and engaged in extortion, kidnappings, and assassinations. One of such memorable hit was the ambush and killing of 13 officers by La Catrina's squad. They not only executed these cops during a licensed home search, but they also set 2 police vehicles ablaze. This was a call to war. Unknown to Maria that there was a recording during the clash, her voice gave her away, and she was implicated by the orders she gave to kill everyone standing. On the 10th of January, the National Guard got a tip of the whereabouts of La Catrina. The police swooped down on the hiding place of the gang and overwhelmed them. Unfortunately for La Catrina, she took a bullet in the jugular.
Ya viene el helicóptero. Tranquila, hija, tranquila. Vas a estar bien. Trata de aguantar, ¿eh?
She bled out and died in the helicopter as paramedics couldn't save her. Next, we have Sandra Avila Beltran. She was born into the Sinaloa cartel and wasn't given much of a choice in living a normal life. Her maternal family were heroin smugglers, while her father, Alfonso Avila Quintero, already held a certain level of respect as the brother of Rafael Caro Quintero, who at the time was the Guadalajara cartel leader. Sandra grew up in the 60s, surrounded by violence and crime. From the age of 13, her father trusted her with counting the loot. At the same time, she witnessed massive shootouts being in the center of it all. She went on to studied journalism, and at the age of 21, she fell in love with Amado Carrillo Fuentes, the leader of the Juarez cartel. This made her a prominent person in the cartel, and she oversaw the shipment of illegal substances to the United States. Her relationship with the cartel boss was short-lived as she went on to date more influential people. She had 2 marriages, and each time her decision was more of tactical than guided by love. Her ex-husbands were both former police commanders who became corrupt, which enabled her to carry out substance smuggling and dodge the law. Interestingly enough, both her husbands were killed by a stab wound by hired assassins. This may not come as a surprise, as it was also rumored that she dated El Chapo himself at that time. All people knew is that they were very close at that time, and she climbed to the ranks of head of public relations, representing the Sinaloa cartel. Life went on as she moved on to have an affair with Juan Diego Espinosa Ramirez, who went by the nickname Tiger, since he was heavily connected with the Norte del Valle cartel based in Colombia. She was able to build connections that united Colombian and Mexican cartels. She made a ton of money through their dealings. You may be wondering how Sandra got her nickname Queen of the Pacific. Here it is. In 2001, the U.S. Coast Guard seized a ship that was supplying tuna fish and discovered up to 9 tons of white powder. These goods were traced back to her, and there went the nickname. She was a wanted person, and she needed to stay out of sight, which she did for over 6 years, even with the kidnapping of her son. She was arrested in 2007 and questioned about her illegal business and drug cartel.
Su nombre, por favor.
Sandra Ávila Beltrán.
¿De dónde es originaria? Tijuana, Baja California.
She denied all allegations, insisting that she traded in clothing. She was sentenced to life where she continually complained of inhabitable surroundings, insect infestation, and inhuman treatment. Prime conditions were put in place such as alcohol, food, and cigarettes to make her more comfortable. However, in 2015, she regained her freedom and is now domiciled in Guadalajara. Next is Jocelyn Alejandra Nino. The harrowing story of a young female cartel assassin who lives by the gun. She was born in the 90s into a poor family in Tamaulipas, northeastern Mexico. It's not very clear what motivated her to join the cartel. It may be family connections or financial problems, but she started out as a member of the Gulf cartel at a very young age. Imagine becoming an assassin while still in high school. It was then that she earned the nickname she became known by, La Flaca, meaning the skinny one. She always looked too small compared to the firearms she carried. The name La Flaca was also a symbol for a female skeleton, which was referred to in Mexico as Saint, Our Lady of Holy Death. This image was quite often depicted in the traditional artwork for the Day of the Dead festivals. Most girls her age who were in gangs mainly were used as lookouts and illegal street workers, but she rose beyond these levels. On the 5th of January 2015, a picture of La Flaca leaked on the internet by a journalist page, Valor por Tamaulipas, a page dedicated to organized crime. It drew attention on all social media platforms, especially because this was a very young girl smiling in a poor background while holding a firearm. Jocelyn was a member of the Ciclones gang. This was led by Angel Eduardo Prado Rodriguez, also known as Ciclone 7 at the time. They were at war with Los Metros, and La Flaca had a target on her back. On the 13th of April 2015, the police discovered her body, along with that of others, in a freezer. She was dismembered by the Los Metros gang. She was only recognized by the tattoo on her arm, which read Niño. It was her family name, and its meaning was child. An autopsy revealed that she was severely tortured before she was killed. The Los Metros gang posted the disturbing dismembered image on social media with a caption warning the Los Ciclones of their fate. Next on the list is Melissa Margarita Calderon Ojeda, also known as La China. She was one of the most violent leaders Sinaloa cartel ever had. She was born on the 12th of August 1984 in Mexico and joined the Damaso, a subdivision of the Sinaloa cartel, in 2005. She was ruthless and ambitious. She and the men were responsible for the death of at least 178 people, including cops, rival gangs, and the innocent. The death of her boyfriend Eric in the hands of Damaso cartel leaders, El Grande, wasn't enough to dissuade her from a life of crime. Instead, she gathered 300 cartel thugs and started a new cartel of her own called Las Fuerzas. Her new lover, Hector Pedro Camarino Gomez, renamed himself El Chino to match with La China. He soon found her to be insanely violent. She killed a car vendor to avoid paying for the car. When threatened by the sicario on what she had done, she had his forearm cut off and then shot him in the head. After burying the bodies, El Chino fled from her for his own safety and reported her location to the police. Melissa was arrested on the 20th of September 2015 at the Cabo San Lucas International Airport. Next is La Jefe, the female boss. Inadina Ariano Felix was born on the 12th of April 1961 into a family of drug traffickers in Sinaloa. When she came of age, she worked for her notorious uncle, Miguel Angel Felix Gallardo, the leader of the Guadalajara cartel. Inadina had a bachelor's degree in accounting and became the financial advisor of the cartel. However, turmoil hit the Guadalajara cartel in 1989, and a few high positions were left unfilled. This was her chance to climb the ranks. She was untethered when two of her older brothers killed her boyfriend, Armando Lopez, who was a close friend of El Chapo. She became hungry for power. The death of El Chuy, the financial leader of the cartel, in 2000, and the arrest of one of her brothers, Eduardo, in 2008, opened doors for her, and she became the leader of the Tijuana cartel. She became La Jefe and ruled as a rational and methodical leader, very discreet, and was neither the priority of the Mexican authorities nor the DEA. She remains the leader of the largest and dangerous Mexican drug cartel till date. What are your thoughts on these hardcore women? Let us know in the comments section below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notifications for more juicy content. See you in the following video.